Let me take you on a journey to reclaim the parts of you that were silenced, doubted, or distorted. A journey to self-trust, resilience, and quiet power. But before we can move forward, we need to pause and face what often stands in the way. Not the world outside, but the voice within. That voice, the inner critic, is more than just background noise. It is persistent, persuasive, and often disguised as truth. It questions your worth, replays your failures, compares you to others, and convinces you that you are never quite enough. It shows up as hesitation when you're about to speak your mind, as guilt when you set a boundary, as shame when you dare to celebrate yourself. And while it may have formed to protect you, shaped by childhood experiences, cultural messages, or unmet needs, it often does the opposite. It keeps you small. It erodes your confidence. It convinces you to delay, defer, or disappear. The inner critic thrives in silence and shame, but it begins to lose power the moment you call it out. Awareness is the first shift, noticing that this voice is not you, but a voice you've absorbed, rehearsed, and mistaken for instinct. And once you notice, you can begin to interrupt. You can pause and ask, is this thought helpful? Is it true? Is it kind? That moment of inquiry is not weakness, it's self-leadership. Because your mind is trainable, and your narrative is not fixed. What you believe about yourself can change. And with that change comes new choices. You can choose to speak to yourself with the same tone you would offer to someone you love, gently, honestly, and without contempt. You can choose to rewrite the inner script, not to deny your flaws, but to hold them in perspective. You are not your mistakes, your rejections, or your fears. You are the one who lived through them, learned from them, and kept going. And that deserves recognition, not ridicule. Cultivating self-compassion is not indulgent, it's revolutionary. In a world that profits from your insecurity, choosing to like yourself is an act of defiance. And it's not just emotional, it's practical. When you treat yourself with respect, you set clearer boundaries. When you speak to yourself with belief, you take more risks. When you give yourself permission to grow, you expand into parts of you that were waiting for your own approval. This doesn't happen overnight. You will still have days when the critic is loud and persuasive. But over time, with practice, you begin to catch it sooner, question it faster, and replace it more often. And in doing so, you create a new default, one rooted not in perfection, but in presence. One that sees your worth not as something to earn, but something you already carry. One that allows you to lead your life not from fear, but from truth. And that truth is simple. You are not broken. You are becoming.